I was just minding my business and this quote like came around and ruined my life. Update. I really love Elias. I want to marry Elias, but first I want him to marry Laya. My ship has sailed. Welcome back on my journey while we look for my next 5-star book again for the second time, because the last time ended when I read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and I couldn't decide if I rated it 4 or 5 stars, so I decided to end the video there because like it was in the beginning of the beginning of this year, so I wanted like a new year, new start kind of thing. And now that I look back on it, I do think The Poppy War was a 5-star book, but this is still a part 2 because I want another 5-star book. You know, I want all the 5-star books. So I'm currently reading Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and I read Icebreaker like a couple months ago last year, and I did not like it. I thought it was boring. I rated it like 2 stars. I was just very bored, and I didn't like the characters, and I generally don't like those kind of books. Like, there's this very specific writing style that I just don't enjoy. But Sunny Kim, so I had no intention of reading Wildfire, but Sunny Kim said, like, recommended it in one of her videos, like one of her trope videos, and I was like, okay, if Sunny Kim recommended it, then I have to read it because she knows what's best for me. So yeah, so now I'm reading Wildfire, and I'm like 60% through, I think, and it's okay. It's not the best thing I've ever the best thing I've ever read, which I didn't really expect it to be. But like I'm having a good time. It's like fun. So yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you updated on the next book that I read. I forgot to update you guys, but I finished Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and I didn't love it as expected. It was like fun. Like, I don't really have much else to say. And I know in the beginning of the year, I literally talked about how I don't want to read books that I know I'm not going to like anymore. And for the first 2 months, I was going solid. I was reading books left and right that I loved. And now I kind of fell off the wagon, but it's okay. It's okay. Can be easily remedied, and that's why we have this video. Currently, though, I'm reading An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I did read this book before. I read it when I was 13 when I was 13, and I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I felt like I had really, really high expectations for it, and I was just really disappointed. But now I'm trying to look at it from a very fresh perspective, because I've been doing this recently, and it's honestly been like working. Like, I don't know what's going on, because I feel like my taste hasn't changed that much from like a few years ago, but like apparently it has, because I reread Dance of Thieves. I loved it. I reread The Atlas Six. I loved it. I reread The Raven Boys, which I'd originally read in 6th grade, which like I understand why I like it now better than I did then, but the rest of them I was like genuinely shocked. I don't know, maybe it's the rereads that are just doing it for me, but like I've been rereading all the old books that I didn't like recently. And yeah, so I'm rereading An Ember in the Ashes, and I'm not that far in. I'm like on page 76. So yeah, I'll keep updating you guys, but like I have a little bit of a better feeling about it this time, because I know what to expect. Like, I have my expectations set instead of like what I expected last time. Like, I expected so much from it last time. Okay, so I finished An Ember in the Ashes, and I also finished the second book, A Torch Against the Night, and I like it, but like at the same time I don't know how to feel about it, because I can't tell if it's like a 3-star series or a 4-star series. I also wanted to say that I'm so tempted to finish the Poppy War series, because I read this one quote while scrolling through Pinterest on a daily basis, as one does. Because if you guys know me at all, you know that like I will do anything for even like little crumbs of like romance in books. I will eat that up. Okay, I will savor that. I will literally like cling on to it with my life. And I will even make something out of nothing sometimes, but like whatever, okay. So now that I read this, I want to read the series because I want to know what's going on here. Like, why is this boy acting like he's, like, in love? Like, I was just minding my business, and this quote, like, came around and ruined my life. Update. I started A Reaper at the Gates, which is the third book, and it's the book where, like, I stopped reading last time. Last time I, like, read And Burn the Ashes, I read Torch Against the Night, and then I just didn't, like, care enough to read A Reaper at the Gates. But now I'm, like, about 100 pages in, like, barely 100 pages in, and it's pretty good. Like, I'm enjoying myself. It's fun. I really, really, really love Elias. Like, I finished A Reaper at the Gates, and I haven't started A Sky Beyond the Storm yet, but I'll probably start it later today. And I just wanted to say, I'm, like, invested now. Like, I'm invested. Did I say infested? I meant invested. I'm invested in the story, okay? I don't know why it took me, like, 3 entire books to get in, but now I feel like they're my children, and I can't let them go out into the wild. So, yeah, I love this series. I love it, and I love, love, love Elias, and I want to marry Elias, but first I want him to marry Laia, and I want Harper to marry Helene, because they're made for each other, and I will die on that hill, and if one of them dies, I will die. You know, I will sue, and then I will die, because I love them. I love Helene, and I feel like she's so misunderstood. She's, like, the epitome of every girl that's ever existed. Like, you know, she is female rage. She's like the embodiment of female rage, and I love her for it, and I will forgive her for everything she did in the first book, because she's literally, like, oh my god, she's the woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's all. See y'all on the other side of studying. My ship has sailed. My ship has sailed. I'm so fucking happy. I'm so fucking happy. Like, the way I was, like, literally under my covers reading on my Kindle and then, like, giggling and kicking my feet at, like, 2 a.m. What was that? But, like, I swear to God, if someone walked in on me, I literally looked like a girl possessed, okay? Because I was, like, screaming into the pillow. Oh my god, it was Harper and Helene have gotten together, and I'm so happy. Listen, now Sabatier's only job is to protect them at all costs, or I will be coming for her. But yeah, that's, like, the only update I have. It's literally 7:45 in the morning, because I'm literally getting ready for school, because I didn't know when else to update. So yeah, that's all I have. I'm, like, 60% through the book, or I think I'm, like, almost 70 at this point. So yeah, it's pretty good. I honestly liked Reaper at the Gates more, though, because I feel like this one is, like, it's very slow, I think. And we all know I'm not really paying attention to the plot. Like, I know what's happening, but, like, I don't care. I just need all of my ships to get together and then just not die. Like, I don't ask for much. I'm a simple. You know how, like, 5 minutes ago in the morning I was talking about how my ship was sailing? Yeah, now it's capsized, it's sunk, it's drowned, it's a shipwreck, it's at the bottom of the ocean, and I don't think we're gonna get it back, because Harper died. He did the one thing I told him not to do. Like, the audacity, like, what? I literally said, like, 5 times, like, if he dies, I die, and then he had, like, the nerve to actually die. I'm actually genuinely unwell. Like, I can't even read. Like, oh my god. I'm actually, like, suffering. And before he dies, the, and Helene, like, Helene is all alone now. Like, oh my god. I love this woman, and she literally deserves, like, everything good in the world. And now Harper has died. He's literally died before he's actually gotten to, like, get to know Elias well. Like, before they can actually be brothers. Like, this woman, Sabaa Tahir is insane. She's insane. Like, I'm so scared to start liking characters because they're gonna die. Like, she's literally killed everything with a pulse. Like, everything. I'm actually terrified she's gonna kill, like, Tass, like the kid or something. Bro, this woman has no mercy. I'm actually so fucking scared. But I love Harper. Like, this actually broke me. I don't know about Helene, but this broke me. Like, me personally, this was a personal attack. Because when he dies, like, Helene says to him, like, multiple times throughout the book, like, or like a couple times, she says something to him that her dad used to say to her, and it means, like, it basically means, like, I hope I die first. And he asks her, what does it mean, like, multiple times, and she doesn't tell him, and then finally she does tell him, and she tells him, oh, it means, like, I hope I die first, and he tells her, like, no, like, I wouldn't know how to make sense of the world without you in it. And then when he dies, he says it back to her, and those are his last words, like, I'm trying so hard not to cry. Like, I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. Okay, like, it's not funny. In my head, I'm, like, sobbing. In my head, I'm writing. This is horrible. I'm actually traumatized. I'm at the part, though, now where, like, okay, basically, you know, all hell breaks loose. Like, the scenario they didn't want to happen happens naturally. And, Helene is, like, she was talking to, like, Karis, and she was, like, telling her, like, I know what happened to you as a kid, like, blah, blah, blah. And that scene is so heartbreaking. Like, the way Sabaa Tahir, like, writes this, like, mother-daughter relationship, or, like, the way she writes, like, this entire, like, I don't know how to explain it, but she writes, like, these elements of, like, being a daughter, being a mother in, like, you know, an ethnic environment, and she writes it so well into these stories, and I can't explain it any better, but, like, if you read the books, and if you are, like, a South Asian, or, like, really anyone of, like, ethnic background, then you kind of, I think you understand. Like, I don't know how to explain it any better, because this doesn't sound, like, it doesn't make sense, but, like, when I'm reading it, the way she writes these relationships, and the way she writes, like, these mothers, and the way that these characters, like, talk and act, like, it's just so, like, poetic in a way, but, like, I don't know, there's no better word, but, like, it's all so full circle, the way she, like, leads everything back to this, like, fundamental relationship. Like, this entire section is literally labeled the mothers, and I think that's so important. And even in the last book, Helene says something about, like, she says something about, like, oh, look what the world does to all these mothers, or something like that. And I highlight it because it's so, I don't know, like, I don't know, guys. Literally, I'm rambling, I'm yapping right now because my brain is not functioning, because I am terrified for everyone's life in this book. No one is safe. No one has any plot armor in this book. I just realized that I'm always in pajamas every single time I talk to you guys, and I just really hope you guys know that this isn't how I dress. Like, this is not how I dress on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, I just finished A Sky Beyond the Storm, and so I'm officially done with the An Ember in the Ashes series. I don't know. I know I love the series. Like, I know I love it, but it's, like, it's a 4-star series. But this book, like, I didn't love it because, like, it was just very slow in the beginning, and it was, like, a little bit frustrating because of the whole, like, Elias and Laya thing. Like, I feel like that got a little annoying at a point. So that's, like, my only criticism, though. Like, I love this series. I feel like it's like, it's fantasy clearly, but I feel like it talks about so many important things too. And I really, really love that. Like the ending of A Sky Beyond the Storm, that will go down in history. That ending will go down in history. Like, oh my god, like Karis and like how Karis dies and all of that was so like beautifully written, and I love it. I love it. And I do think Sabatier is writing another book in the same universe with like different characters, and I'm so excited for it. It's called Air or something, and it's coming out, I believe, this year. I'm not sure though, and I'm so excited now. I'm so excited. But anyway, yeah, I finished Amber in the Ashes series. Now I feel empty and I don't know what to do. But I did start The Prison Healer like on a whim. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be like a 5-star book. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually read that book for this video. I think I might read Funny Story, which I actually have right here. So I think I might read Funny Story. It's just recently, like during like times like this, like during like final season and stuff. Look what just came in the mail. Books. My favorite kind of mail. My favorite kind of like literally anything. Look how pretty they are. I finally ordered this series. At first I wasn't sure if I wanted to order it because I wasn't sure if I enjoyed them enough to order them. And then I finished it and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like, yeah, I need these books. So I ordered them and they're all here and they're so pretty. I was a little scared because they're like older books. So I kind of thought they would be like those like 2017, 2014 books like Divergent, the paperback Hunger Games, where they're like shiny, smooth covers with no foiling on the letters and then like stiff pages. But look at that floppability. Look at her go. 10 out of 10 floppability. And they're also satisfying together because like look at them. They're so pretty together. So I'm very happy with them and I'm very excited to annotate them. But like, does anyone get that feeling where like they order something like books and they have like I feel like not anxious, but like I'm like all excited like with anticipation and stuff until they arrive, and then I'm like okay about it. Like I'm still really happy to have the books, but I'm like it's the getting them for me, because when I order something, I stalk it obsessively. I literally go on my phone 24/7 every 5 minutes, and I'm just like checking like where is it exactly. Like I don't want to know that it's on the way. I need to know what street you're on. I need to know what highway you're taking. Okay, like I need to know where you are. I need to know where my precious cargo is. And it's like a little bit of a problem because like it literally takes over my life. I'm reading Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I actually really like it. Like I haven't gotten that far, so there's not like much to base this off of. But like again, I don't know what this woman puts in her books, but they're literally drugs. They're drugs. I'm telling you, they're drugs. You know that Taylor Swift song where it's like, I put narcotics into all of my songs? Emily Henry is taking her secrets. She puts narcotics into all of her books. They're so good. Like, okay, maybe I'm like jumping the bat a little bit here because like I'm literally like, how many pages am I in? I'm literally 70 pages in. But like, it's just, they're fun to read and they're easy and like they just make you want to keep reading. Like last night I picked it up and I was like, okay, let me just read like a chapter just to get a feel of this book, okay? I read a chapter and then I was like, oh, like I don't really feel like studying yet, so let me read one more. And then I read another chapter. And then at this point I was like, okay, I need to study. And I thought I'd only read like 2 to 3 chapters in max. I was like, yeah. Later in the night I go back to like read the book again, and I open it up and it's like chapter 6 and I'm like, guys, oh my god, I love this book. Like PSA, I'm obsessed with this book. All I want to do is sit down and read this book, and it's been so long since I felt this way because like, yeah, like, you know, I read books really quickly whether I like them or not, but like this is the first time in like a really long time where I've like I've been addicted from like chapter 1. I was like, this book is so good. It's so light, it's so fun, but it's so like, I don't know, it's such a good book. Like, I don't know what this woman is doing, but she just keeps getting better every single time. Like, if I actually sat down and read this book, I would never get anything else done. I would have finished in like 2 or 3 hours, because the only way I'm actually getting myself to study right now is being like, okay, I finish a unit and I get to read 1 chapter. And even then, I end up reading like 2 chapters or something. And I'm trying so hard to like slow myself down because I don't want to finish this book. Because I don't know what I'm going to do after I finish it. I'm literally going to be like empty inside. And I don't want to finish this book. So I'm literally sitting there being like, okay, I finish like an entire unit and then I can read a little bit. Or like, I do this thing, I do this assignment, or I study this thing and then I can read. Like, I can finish that chapter, or I can like read a page, or like, that's literally like the only thing motivating me. Like, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be studying right now. I would literally be sitting in the corner reading this book over and over and over again. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but like, that's literally how I feel. I love this book and I don't want to finish it. I want it to last forever. It's actually like hurting me that I'm like this far in already. Okay, so I actually realized I never made an outro for this video, and it's literally been like a week. So I'm making it right now. And basically, I found my 5-star book. Obviously, it was Happy Place, like, who's surprised? But yeah, I ended up really, really liking that book. And I did not end up pacing myself. So yeah, I'm not even sorry about it. I do feel empty inside a week later, but it's okay. I literally want to like reread it again. I literally want to like, I wanted to reread it the second I like closed it. I was like, I need to reread this again. And I feel like since its finals are coming up, I do have an excuse to reread it, because you do know, like, you guys know that like final season is my rereading season. Anyway, that was part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed, and follow me on all my socials. And also don't forget to subscribe, and see you in my next one. Bye.